only in these creatures that are quite complex is this ability to create inner simulations. Now, the last thing I want to say about predictive processing is to describe levels of selfhood or levels of self. So there's this process of abstraction that creates everything that we experience, as I've already described. Now, this also can be dissected into 3 levels of selfhood, and many great philosophers of mind have developed these, people like Sean Gallagher and Thomas Metzinger, and and also Kahneman talks about these, Daniel Kahneman. And so at the top of this abstraction hierarchy is our narrative self. This is all our thoughts and ideas about ourselves in the past and our future. It's all the stories that I can tell about myself and where I've lived and who I think I am. And deeper than that in this hierarchy, earlier is our experiencing self. It's who we experience ourselves to be right now, how our body feels, what the sensory experience is like, how we are emotionally. It's our embodied sense of self, experiencing self right now. And even earlier than that experiencing self is just the fact that we're witnessing, we're aware of our present experiencing self. So I'm also aware of my experiencing self. And on top of this experiencing self, I'm also aware of my narrative self. So even deeper, earlier on, we have this just so subjectivity of witnessing in itself. It's kind of most minimal form of ourselves. This is my use of the minimal. Minimal has been used in many different ways by different scientists, but I think this is the simplest way to understand it. So you can see that our sense of self is actually this multi-layered. There's this basic level that we're just observing, that first-person perspective, but then there's also this embodied sense of myself in this present moment. And then there's also all of my stories about myself in the past and the future. So I could lose all my stories, but I would still have this sense of experiencing myself as a body, as this present field of awareness, the one who's observing. And I could also lose all of that, and then just have this sense of observation. So you can see how the observation is more fundamental than the embodied self, and the thinking narratives about ourselves are even less fundamental. Okay, so now you've seen the levels of meditation. You have a sense of what we mean by the predictive brain as a process of prediction, error, minimization with all these different levels of self and abstraction. And now I'm going to put this all together in our theory of meditation.